checking the forecast, things looking crazy. A storm on the horizon, the pressure is low. Gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're open the gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Let's get this show on the road, guys. This is Emergency Management Associates, and we are on the air. My name is Ron Tyler. I'm the president of Emergency Management Associates. I'm coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. We're here on the air, guys, as always. We're here at about 5:55 or 4:55 p.m. Eastern Time today. We had some issues trying to get all the information about an early earthquake down in central Chile. We finally got that, and we're on the air with you. That's where I'm going right now. First thing we're going to talk about is the earthquake in central Chile, over on near the coastline, just east of the coastline, Coquimbo, Chile. Coquimbo, Chile. Before I show you the back seismologist study page, let's go over to USGS web and watch what happened here today, earlier this morning. Okay, I'm going to take down our webcam. I'm going to take down our EMA banner here. I want you to see where this earthquake happened. Over here in central Chile. Actually, it's just north of central Chile here. Okay, but it is close enough for government work right now. Now, I want you to see this. There's a reason for it. Okay, where did it happen and why? Okay, this is actually in the foothills of the Andes Mountains here. The foothills of the Andes Mountains here. Look at that. Okay, near Coquimbo, Chile. Now, why did it happen? Just off the coast, you can see a tectonic plate. It's called the Nazca Plate, Nasca plate. That plate guys, is subducting. The entire plate is subducting. We've talked before about subduction. The Nazca plate is subducting under the South American plate, just like this. And as it goes underneath the Andes Mountains, it takes a deep dive into the center of the earth, into the mantle, where the heat is. That when that happened, it caused the Andes Mountains to go like this, creating the Andes Mountains in South America. That's why we have that. Now, what else is going on? Anybody else have any ideas what else is going on here? What do we have here? What's here in the Andes Mountains, guys? Can anybody tell me what we have here in the Andes Mountains here? What do we have here going on in the Andes Mountains? We have volcanoes, guys. We have volcanoes up and down the entire Andes Mountain front. Okay? Sometimes closer to Argentina, but more than anything, we have them over here in Chile as well. Okay? For example, right here. This is a good example. This is a volcano right there. There are many other volcanoes up and down this entire front here. Right there. See the indentation of the crater there? There's many more just like that. All kinds of volcanoes all over the Andes Mountains. Okay? Volcanoes. You can't have subduction without volcanoes. You cannot have volcanoes without subduction. They go hand in hand. Okay? Now, let's go back to this earthquake. This came out as a 6.6 earthquake. USGS subsequently downgraded to a 6.2. That's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. They downgraded to a 6.2. But what do they show on the USGS seismologist study page? What do they show here? Let's take this USGS map down for just a minute. We'll come back to it because I want to show you some other things. But let's go over the USGS seismologist study page. This is where things get really interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay? Now, why do I want to just show you this? Notice it does say 6.2 earthquake here. Okay? Shows a 6.2 earthquake, but it goes further than that. Okay? Let's go down here to magnitudes. Notice where it says 6.2 here, where it says 11 stations reporting. No station details contributed. That's interesting. That's very interesting. They show only 2 stations or 11 stations reporting as a 6.2, but no details. But we drop down here to 6.4. Again, this came as a 6.6 earthquake. We drop down to 6.4. All of a sudden, we have 157 stations reporting. Those are seismographs. Seismographs up and down the entire coastline and over in Chile and Argentina. 152 stations reporting. What's going on here? Actually, 157, I'm sorry, 157. What's going on here? Let's look. Over on the right-hand side where it shows magnitudes, that's what we want to look at here. Notice this, 6.58, 6.87, 6.58, 6.21, 6.58, 6.41, 6.66, 6.41. Really? 6.62, 6.19, 6.4, 6.62, 6.7, 6.87, 6.63, 6.73, 6.64, 6.66, and this is where I stopped it because all of a sudden we have all the other stations also reporting these large earthquakes than what USGS said it was. Okay? All of a sudden we see the truth come out. This was larger than a 6.2 earthquake. Okay? I'm going to say it was a 6.5 to 6.6. Okay? They came out as a 6.6, they downgraded to 6.2. All the data shows it to be a much larger earthquake. I'm going to say a 6.5 to a 6.6 earthquake. Okay? All the data points that direction. Okay? It's interesting how they try to play games here. I've shown you this before on other earthquakes. They're playing games here. Let's go back to the USGS map again. Okay? They're showing this alleged 6.2, 6.6 earthquake here. Oh, I forgot to show you something. On the map, okay, they're saying there are 118 people reporting this earthquake. Only 118 people? 6.6 earthquake? Let's move down here. Okay, this was a very strong earthquake. Just shy of a major earthquake. Valparaiso, the capital of Chile here. These people felt that earthquake. These people and all the other people up and down the entire coastline of Chile felt this earthquake. This was in the foothills of the Andes Mountains. The seismic signals, the seismic data radiated all up and down the bedrock here. All up and down the bedrock throughout Chile. USGS says 118 people felt this earthquake. I believe it's many thousands of people felt this earthquake. Many thousands of people felt this earthquake. On the EMSC map, I did some checking. They had 42 comments of people who felt that quake. Every one of those comments said very, very strong quake. Fuerte. The comment was used fuerte. Strong quake. Okay? So USGS again tries to deny exactly what happened here. Strong earthquake. Okay? Now, they can talk all they want. As I said before, they've said a lot of things that they cannot back up. They try to make it seem nothing happened here. They want to make it seem that nothing happened here. But it very much did. It very much did. They can say whatever they want, but still it does not make it right. It does not make it right at all. Now, guys, whether or not this is a 6.6 or a 6.2, very strong earthquake. Very strong earthquake. Okay? 42 comments. Strong horizontal movement. Not vertical, not up and down, but horizontal movement. Shaking movement. Okay? Movió un poco la mesa. The tables moved. Un poco means very little. From Vina del Mar, Chile. Fu largo. Large movement. Okay? It moved from side to side very slowly. I didn't hear any sound and only felt it because I was sitting down. That comes from Prudencia, Chile. La Serena, Chile. Bastante notorio en La Serena. They felt it. They felt it. They noted it. Okay? Someone from Vina del Mar, Chile. Tipo 6.5 Richter. And Piso 7-day Concon. 7.0 earthquake. They felt it. They thought it was a 7.0 earthquake. Okay? Muy largo, very large. From Vina del Mar, Chile again. Muy largo. Aunque sin ruido en Vina, puede que sea un 5 algo. They said it was at least a 5.5 allegedly there. Okay? Now, I don't know that much Spanish anymore. I forgot more than I've learned. From Copiapó, Chile. 600 por casa en minuto. Okay? Lasts about a minute with the shaking. Fuerte en borda constero de Vina. Now, it's fuertes meaning again. Very strong. Very strong. It shook our building. Somebody in Santiago said it shook the building. Movement vertical y después vertical. Up and down movement, this person says. From Villa Presidente Fria Nuno, Santiago, Chile. Up and down movement. From Santiago, somebody also says poco largo, possibly a little large. Okay? Suave, movement. Suave, movement. Okay? Copiapó, movimiento horizontal suave, horizontal movement. Side to side movement. Side to side movement here again. Okay? Someone here also says lateral movement, pentas de computar, se movían Valparaiso. Movement Valparaiso, Chile. Large movement, despacio. Hacienda El Calera, Chile. La Serena, Chile. Fuerte se sintió en La Serena. Large movement. Long vibration, somebody says. La Ligua, Chile. From Vina del Mar again. Sente bastante movimiento, más que ruido. It goes on and on here. Someone says sensible oscillation. Large movement. On the 6th floor of the building. Items in the apartment were shaking, noticeably vibrating. Lasts about 15 seconds. Medium intensification. Provincia, Chile. Medium amount of movement. Medium intensity. From Mobile, Chile to the north. Concha mi madre. Pray to my mother. Concha de mi madre. Grado Fornicali. They thought it might have been a 4 on the Mercalli scale. Mendoza, Argentina. They felt it. Se siento fuerte en segundo piso. Okay? Again, large amount of movement. Dangerous movement. From Santiago again. Moderate movement. Coquimbo again. Fuerte pero sin daño. Ruido como cuando corre la mañana de Búfalos. From Buen, Chile. En buen se sintió como grado cercano. Someone from Santiago again. They said oscillating movements again. Okay? Goes on and on here. From Vina del Mar. Smallest shake in Vina. Okay? 42 different people talking about the movement here of the 6.6 earthquake. Now, it needs to be said about this as well. I believe it was 1998. We had an 8.8 magnitude earthquake over here in Coquimbo, Chile. An 8.8 movement in Coquimbo, Chile. That's a huge earthquake. That's a huge earthquake. 8.8 magnitude earthquake in Chile. Okay? Actually, it was 2010. I thought it was 1998 was 2010. The 2010 Chile earthquake was an 8.8 magnitude movement. Struck the coast of Male, Chile, February 27, 2010. Lasts about 3 minutes. It was one of the largest earthquakes ever recorded. It triggered a significant tsunami, resulted in over 500 fatalities, caused widespread damage, particularly in infrastructure. That was in 2010. This one was at least a 6.5 to 6.6 earthquake, as I showed you. USGS said they downgrade to 6.2. We already showed that their data showed at least a 6.4. I'm saying 6.5, 6.6. Yeah. This was another big earthquake. Now, right now, we don't have any reports of damage right yet. We don't have any reports of damage quite yet. I think the damage estimates will probably come out in the near future, probably later today. In fact, let me check something real quick. Now, this quake hit at a depth of 10 kilometers deep, 6.2 miles deep. Okay? Hit this morning about 10:30 a.m. local time. This was a very significant earthquake. Very powerful 6.6. Okay? I don't have any reports of damage as of yet, so far. Okay? I'm still checking here something. No, we have no reports of damage anywhere. Nope. No one's reporting any damage anywhere. Now, that doesn't mean there's no damage. There is a very good possibility that we may have hear of damage over here in Chile within the next few hours. It's very possible. We just don't know yet. We don't know yet. But it's likely to happen nonetheless. Okay? I fully expect it to happen. Now, with that said, let's go on to other earthquakes around the globe. Okay? We do have other earthquakes around the globe. as we speak. Okay, down here in southern Chile here, we have another 4.1. North of Coquimbo here, we have a 4.2. This earthquake here is at the border of Chile and Argentina. Okay, it's northwest of San Antonio de los Cobres, Argentina, right at the border of Chile and Argentina. 4.2 earthquake. But notice they're not showing any other earthquakes here. Around this 6.5 earthquake here, around this 6.5 earthquake, there are 12 other earthquakes. Some of those are aftershocks. Further north, northern Chile here, we have 14 aftershocks here. Not aftershocks, 14 other earthquakes here in northern Chile. Going north into Peru, only one earthquake here in Peru, a 4.2 earthquake. Now, while that's there, go up here into Colombia. USGS is not showing any earthquakes in Colombia, but there are earthquakes here in Colombia. Now, let me bring up the earthquake map here on my device. I'll show you earthquakes here in Colombia and show you earthquakes going on over there all around the world here. Taisha, Colombia, 4.4 earthquake here. 4.4 earthquake there. Further north here in central Colombia, we have a 3.0. Going into northern Colombia here, actually, this is actually Venezuela. I'm sorry, Venezuela. Here's a 2.7. Further to the north, still in Venezuela, Mena Grande, Zuila, Venezuela, a 2.6. And right next to it is a 2.5. Okay? 32 earthquakes in South America. 32 earthquakes in South America. But USGS is showing 3. Incredible. They keep wanting to deny anything happens. Now, we darn well know things are happening. We know things are happening here. Go over here to the Pacific. Okay? This earthquake here in the Pacific, on the Tonga Trench. Actually, this is not on the Tonga Trench this time. This is the Fiji Trench. This is a 5.1 earthquake here, 171 miles east of Luvuka, Fiji. I believe this is deep quake. Hold on just a second. Let me make sure we got this here. Yes, this is a very deep earthquake. This is 554 kilometers deep. 554 kilometers deep. This means we're going to have a stronger, more shallow quake hit in this region within the next 3 to 10 days. We're going to have a stronger, more shallow earthquake data here in the next 3 to 10 days. Let's take down this USGS map really quick and show the depth to the magnitude conversion chart. Okay? It shows to be a 554 kilometer deep earthquake, meaning we have to add a 1.11 to this earthquake. Okay? As it is, this is a 5.1 earthquake. A 5.1 earthquake here, guys. That means we're going to add a 1.1 to this, meaning we can have a 6.2 to 6.3 earthquake happen as a result of this 5.1 large earthquake here in Fiji today. This earthquake here did not affect anybody on land. It was out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean here in Fiji. But it's going to cause a much larger shell earthquake, being a 6.1, excuse me, 6.2 to 6.3 earthquake within the next 3 to 10 days. Now, you see a lot of other earthquakes over here to the west. We're going to talk about those. We're going to talk about earthquakes around the world today. We're also going to talk about the volcanoes over in the Pacific Northwest. Now, why are we having all these earthquakes? Why are we having all these earthquakes? Why are we having these very strong earthquakes? 6.0, 6.6 earthquakes. Remember all of the X-class flares we had last week? Yeah. Now we are starting to see all that seismic energy being wrapped up because the plasma radiation from the sun finally reached Earth. I think the last one reached on Monday or Tuesday this week. This is Thursday. Okay? The plasma radiation hit the Earth like this. Okay, it hit the Earth facing the sun like this, and then as the plasma radiation hit the Earth, it enveloped the Earth like this. The plasma radiation reaches into the atmosphere. Okay? Heats up the atmosphere, then it reaches the surface of the Earth as well. When it does that, it hits the surface and it lubricates the faults, lubricates the plates. Okay? It heats up the faults and heats up the plates, all that stuff, all of the gunk and grime, all the sand, the rock, the biological material turns into an oily, greasy-like substance. That lubricates the plates, lubricates the faults, and causes the faults and plates to move like this, or to move more freely like this. The faults and the plates are being held together by friction. The faults and the plates are being held together by friction. When all that gunk and grime, biological material melts, because of the heat, the plasma radiation heating up the plates and the faults, it causes those plates and faults to more freely move like this. That's when we see earthquakes. That's why we're seeing earthquakes since last weekend. It's happening. It's happening all over the place. Let's go further to the west here. I want to show you this. Okay? This is over in the Mariana Islands, north of Guam. The Mariana Islands, north of Guam here. Okay, this is a 5.4 earthquake. This is a large 5.4 earthquake north of Guam. Okay, 47 kilometers northwest of Vigo Village, Guam. 5.4 large earthquake. It was far enough off of Guam, I don't think anybody even felt that 5.4. They may have felt some small shaking though. I think it was close enough to the island that they may have felt some small shaking, but they did not feel the full brunt of that large earthquake shaking. Okay, they missed the kickoff here. I'm glad they missed it. Let's go over to Taiwan. Taiwan. Yesterday here, we talked about this 5.3 earthquake south of Guam yesterday. Okay? That was only 16 kilometers deep. However, this earthquake here is a 4.8. This happened early this morning, just after 2:22 this morning. 4.8 earthquake, 81 kilometers southwest of Bosco, Philippines. Bosco, Philippines. That's one of the tiny islands out here in the East China Sea here. Right there. Okay? It's out here in the ocean. Nobody felt it. The ocean waters absorbed the shockwaves of this quake. Let's go north. Between Taiwan and Japan. These are the Ryukyu Islands out here, belonging to Japan. This is a 5.5 earthquake. This is a very large 5.5 earthquake here. 97 kilometers away from any island here. Almost 80 miles away from any island here. Nobody felt this earthquake. The ocean waters absorbed the shockwaves of this quake as well. Okay? Let's go up here to Japan. Right here. Southeast of Honshu, Japan. We have another 4.6 moderate earthquake. Okay? Another 4.6 moderate quake off Honshu, southeast of Tokyo. Again, this is far enough off the coast, almost 200 kilometers southeast of Tokyo here. The ocean waters absorbed the shockwaves of this quake. Nobody felt that on Japan. Up to the northeast of Japan. This is another aftershock. Remember last year we had a 7.4 earthquake here? This is a 4.6 aftershock. Okay? Again, this is 58 kilometers deep. Shallow quake. Shallow quake. Right as we were coming on the air this afternoon, this earthquake struck here in the Kuril Islands. The Kuril Islands, guys. The Kuril Islands here, even though they're north of Hokkaido, Japan, the Kuril Islands here belong to Russia. This is a large 5.0 earthquake. This is a 5.4. The 5.0 is an aftershock. This is a 5.4 earthquake here. Okay? It's far enough off of Hokkaido here, nobody felt this earthquake. The islands here in the Kuril Islands belong to Russia. This is far enough off of the islands, nobody felt this earthquake. Most of these islands are not even occupied islands. Okay? So we had another two 5.0 large earthquakes here. Two large earthquakes north of Hokkaido. Look where they're at. Look where all of these earthquakes are at. On the fault zone here. They're all on the fault zone here. These earthquakes are going to go up here to Kamchatka Peninsula on the fault zone. Before it's all said and done, they're going to be here in the Aleutian Islands here of Alaska. We've already had 5.0 earthquake over here in Adak, Alaska yesterday. That seismic energy is moving along over here to mainland Alaska. Okay? There's all kinds of energy. All kinds of energy locked up here in the Gulf of Alaska here and over here into Anchorage, Alaska here. The summer of 2019, we had a 7.0 earthquake here in Anchorage. Now, I don't know whether we're going to have another 7.0. But all kinds of seismic energy is locked up here in Alaska. It's very likely we could have another very large earthquake here. Very, very damaging earthquake here in Anchorage. We've had large earthquakes over here in the Gulf of Alaska on the fault line. I remember those earthquakes very well. Now, over here in southeastern Alaska, they're not showing any earthquakes right now. But remember, we had a very, very major earthquake up here. 7.0 earthquake here at the beginning of the year. Guess what? We might see this energy up here again. We might see 7.0 earthquake energy here again. Because where does that fault come to? Where does that fault come to, guys? Comes over here into the Gulf of Alaska. You can very easily skip over here into southeastern Alaska. Also, just so you know, we have energies coming from the south as well. Coming from the south, along the Cascadia subduction zone. Up here near Haida Gwaii subduction zone. And going north into Alaska. Energy here is going both ways here. It's going both ways. We may see more earthquakes here in southeastern Alaska as well. Now, while we're on the air, earthquakes continue happening here. Okay? My dear friend Sharon Bowen, Sleeping Volcano, she goes by sometimes here, just got through advising us there was another earthquake in Afghanistan just a few minutes ago. A 4.6 earthquake hit in Afghanistan just a few minutes ago. All that energy here, coming from Indonesia here, goes through Indonesia up the earthquake fault, the edge of the plate, up here through Southeast Asia, up here in the Himalaya Mountains, again the edge of the plate, the Himalaya Mountains here, ends up over here in Afghanistan. USGS still does not have this earthquake recorded in Afghanistan as of yet. There are earthquakes there. USGS is reporting an earthquake right here. Okay? This is Kuga, China. Kuga, China. K-U-Q-A, China. Actually, K-U-G-A, I'm sorry. K-U-G-A, China. This is the 4.4 moderate earthquake here. Okay? If you remember 2 years ago, we had an earthquake here in Kuga, China before. Major earthquake. I think it was a 7.5, 7.6 earthquake or something like that. Major earthquake. Thousands of people were unalived because of that earthquake here in China. Over in Afghanistan here, we saw a 6.1 earthquake hit here last year. What happened? Thousands of people died. The people here in Afghanistan, Pakistan region here in the mountains are nomads. Some of them live in caves. Some of them live in mud huts or mud homes, mud brick homes, unreinforced masonry. When that 6.1 magnitude quake, shallow earthquake, 6.2 miles deep, 10 kilometers deep, when that 6.1 earthquake hit, these mud homes collapsed. Some of the caves collapsed. People were unalived. Thousands of people were unalived. Thousands of people were injured. Because it was in the mountains, transportation was negligible. They had to drive antiquated trucks up very steep hills, very steep roadways to get out to these back canyons and provinces and towns out here in Afghanistan to get supplies. Unreal. Earthquakes continue to hit this region. They're going to continue to hit this region for time immemorial. It's going to continue happening. But notice today, USGS is not showing any earthquake except for one here in Iran. One earthquake here in Iran. They're showing this earthquake to be a 4.4 earthquake here in southern Iran. Okay? Near a city called Mohr, M-O-H-R, Iran. 4.4 earthquake. But notice I'm not showing any other earthquakes in either the Middle East or Europe at all. There are plenty of earthquakes here all over the region, all over Europe. USGS is saying there's 278 earthquakes worldwide. Again, they're not telling the truth at all. There are approximately 1,800 earthquakes worldwide. That's the real truth here. Okay? 1,800 earthquakes worldwide. Now, really quickly, I want to go over here to the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico here. Okay? Right here. This is the 3.1 earthquake here. Just north of the U.S. and British Virgin Islands. 3.1 small earthquake. Dropped by the Cayman Ridge. That earthquake fault that travels away from Guatemala, eastbound over here through the Caribbean, skirting the southern part of Cuba here, ending up over here, west and east, west of Virgin Islands, and then east here, east of the Leeward Islands, going down here into Venezuela here. Goes out here in the Atlantic Ocean, then makes a westward turn and goes into Venezuela here. Okay? But that Cayman Ridge drops these earthquakes here. Over here in southwestern Puerto Rico. This is a 2.1 minor earthquake. Southwest of Guanica, Puerto Rico. 2 miles southwest of Guanica, Puerto Rico. This is an aftershock of 2 major earthquakes that happened on December 26th and December 28th, 2019. 6 years ago, I should say, 6 years ago. Earthquakes continue hitting here 6 years later. This is a minor 2.1 earthquake. Okay? Like I said, earthquakes continue hitting here all the time. All the time. Now, the USGS is not showing any earthquakes here in Central America. There are 14 earthquakes here in Central America. Here in southwestern Mexico, they're showing a 4.4 earthquake here. Okay? I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name of the town where it's at. But a 4.4 earthquake here in southwestern Mexico. What they're not saying is there are 42 other earthquakes here in southern Mexico. 42 other earthquakes here in southern Mexico. 12 in Central America. Dozens of earthquakes in South America. They're still not showing those. Okay? They're not showing much of anything. They really aren't. Now, we talked about earthquakes in Los Angeles and Southern California yesterday. Okay? Want to go up here. Okay? Want to talk about earthquakes here in Utah. I'm going to start down here in southern Utah here. This is Canaryville, Utah. This is a 1.3 tremor here. This is 1.6 near Cedar City. Okay? This is not on the Wasatch Fault. But what you need to know are there are volcanoes in this region. This is volcano country. This is volcano country, guys. Volcanoes all over the landscape here. I've been here. That's why we're seeing earthquakes here. Okay? North of here. They're not showing any earthquakes here at all today. The Black Rock Desert Volcano. The Black Rock Desert Volcano is over here. I've visited the Black Rock Desert Volcano several times. I have some fossils from the shell from the volcano. I retrieved fossils from the shell here at Black Rock Desert Volcano here. Going north into the Wasatch Mountains here. We have some earthquakes here. Okay? Just north of Utah Lake here. West-northwest of Lehigh. We have a 1.7 tremor here. 1.7 miles west-northwest of Lehigh. Draper, California. Draper, Utah, sorry. Draper, Utah. Northwest of there. Bluffdale, Utah. 1.6 tremor here. Now, we have seen a lot of seismic activity in this region. I think it's going to continue. I think it's going to continue. We saw large earthquakes in this last week. Now we're seeing minor tremors here. I think some of this energy will continue for a while now. We saw this same thing happen before we had a 5.6 earthquake in 2018 up just south of the Great Salt Lake in West Valley City. It could happen again. It could realistically happen again. Further north here, Magna, Utah, southwest of Salt Lake City, Magna, Utah. This is a 0.5 microquake. One of my daughters lives here near Magna. I have cousins living here in Magna, Utah. This is a 0.5 microquake here in Magna, Utah. Okay, let's go north here. Up here in northern Utah. Okay, this is southwest of Bear Lake. Millville, Utah. 1.2 tremor here. 1.2 tremor here. We go down to the northeast here. Wasatch National Forest. 2.1 earthquake here near Oakley, Utah. Oakley, Utah is northeast of Park City. I have friends living here in Oakley. Very, very dear friends here living in Oakley. This is a 2.1 minor earthquake here. We've seen earthquakes here before. They're going to continue to happen as well. Okay? They will continue to happen here as well. Now, let's go up here into Idaho. Okay, Bennington, Idaho. This is a 2.1 earthquake here. Okay, this is north of Bear Lake. This is north of Bear Lake. Bear Lake straddles the Idaho-Utah border here. This is a 2.1 minor earthquake here. 8 kilometers west-southwest of Bennington, Idaho. Okay, where this is at. This is in the northern part of the Wasatch Fault. This earthquake near Bennington is the northern part of the Wasatch Fault. We've talked about this before. There are 7 different segments to the Wasatch Fault. The Wasatch Fault starts here. It goes south through the east side of Salt Lake City, goes all the way down here to central Utah. All the way down here to central Utah right here. Wasatch Fault. The Wasatch Fault is capable of a 6.5 to 7.5 earthquake here. The Wasatch Fault is capable of a 6.5 to 7.5 earthquake. When I first moved to Utah, south of Salt Lake City to Payson, I began talking to all the emergency managers around Salt Lake City. North of Salt Lake City, south of Salt Lake City, all over. They said, "Oh, Ron, you don't have to worry. Largest earthquake that could hit here is a 6.0. Since then, the USGS has upgraded that to at least 6.5 to 7.5 earthquake. The Wasatch Fault here is capable of a 6.5 to 7.5 earthquake. But let me tell you this, there is still a very good possibility that there are several different segments here, 7 different segments. There is a very good possibility that only one of the segments could have a 6.5 to 7.5 earthquake. One of the 7, anywhere from southern Utah all the way down to southern Idaho, all the way down here to central Utah. Or the entire fault could shake. The entire fault could shake from southern Idaho all the way down to central Utah. 7.5 shaking. For those of you that live here in Utah, I'm telling you right now, you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared. Back in 2018, March 18th, 2018, right here, West Valley City, Utah, we had a 5.6 earthquake. It did over $1 million of damage all over Salt Lake City. Probably closer to $2 million of damage in Salt Lake City. Fortunately, because of where it happened, nobody was even alive. No injuries. Salt Lake City missed a big one. But a much larger earthquake can happen here at any time. Somebody left me a message after yesterday's program asking me if I was talking about earthquakes around Utah. I am. I'm putting all of you on notice right now. This area is very capable of having a major earthquake here. It's very capable of having a major earthquake here. Y'all need to be ready. It's likely to happen. Very likely to happen. Now, while I'm talking about that, Let's go over here to Colorado. The Rocky Mountains here. The Rocky Mountains are the western side of the Continental Divide. The western edge of the Continental Divide. Okay? Here in Colorado, Wyoming, or even Montana, anywhere up and down this fault line, Rocky Mountain fault line, this area is capable of a 7.07.5 earthquake. Yeah, it's capable of it. It's possible it could happen. I used to live southwest of Denver in a town called Littleton. See where Littleton is? That's where I used to live. Sharon and her husband live up here in Denver somewhere. This whole area is capable of a major earthquake. This is called the Front Range of Colorado. Everybody living here in Colorado must needs be prepared. All of you could also see a major earthquake hitting here. 7.0 earthquake hitting here. Most of the time we've only seen minor tremors and minor earthquakes. 1.0 to 1.9 tremors, 2.0 to 2.8 earthquakes have happened here in the Denver area. I've been there, done that. But this area is capable of a major earthquake here as well. Now, today, earlier this morning, I had friends of ours, EMA family members, that asked me about earthquakes here in Oklahoma. Yes, we've had a lot of earthquakes here in Oklahoma. Lots and lots. Most of these have all been minor earthquakes and tremors. Minor earthquakes 2.0, 2.9, 1.0, 1.9 tremors. Down here in southern Oklahoma. This is a minor earthquake here, 2.0, near Loco, Oklahoma. Crazy, Oklahoma. Northwest of Oklahoma City, we have a small swarm of earthquakes. Small swarm of earthquakes here. Calumet, Oklahoma. This is a 1.8 tremor here. This is a 1.7. This is a 1.6. This is a 2.0. This is 1.8. Our EMA family members here in Oklahoma are telling me that they have felt earthquake shaking. Just because the agency only says it's a 2.0 does not mean it's only a 2.0 or even a tremor. If you are feeling earthquakes shaking here, two things are in play. Number one, the earthquake is probably a lot larger than they're saying it is. Number two, the bedrock in this area is such that seismic energy will be felt over a larger area. Seismic energy will be felt over a larger area. Number three, why are we having earthquakes here? The very simple answer is this. The reasons we are seeing earthquakes are basically because of fracking. Fracking. Oil and gas fracking all throughout Oklahoma. There are 586 pumps and jacks throughout Oklahoma. 586,000 pumps and jacks. It's no small wonder we have earthquakes here. They happen. Yes, there are a few faults here as well. But most of all, you have man-made earthquake faults, where men have dug into the ground to obtain oil and gas. And because of that, when seismic energy comes out of the west, comes over here, it hits those man-made earthquake faults, those drill points, and all of a sudden it has fracturing rock inside the drill point. Fracturing rock inside the drill point, causing earth movement. That's what's going on here. Okay? Any questions here? Hurricane Heather says she's got to go walk her dog. That's awesome. Rather, pet him for me. I love dogs. I absolutely love dogs. Sharon, you're a good lady. She says, depending on which iPad she's on, will depend on whether she's sleeping Volcano or Sharon Ball. Confused? Well, I am. Sharon, you're not the only one who might be confused. Some of us are. We live in the state of confusion. Maybe I ought to nickname North Carolina as a state of confusion. A lot of people here in North Carolina are confused. Now I'm going to get people here in North Carolina saying, talk to yourself, Ron. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Sharon's talking about an Arizona earthquake, a 2.3 earthquake in Arizona just about 20 minutes ago. Not surprising. Not surprising at all. Why would we have earthquakes in Arizona, guys? Why do you think we might have earthquakes here in Arizona? Now, I don't live there. I don't live anywhere near there. Can you see Rocky Mountains here? Rocky Mountains, northern Arizona. Sure doesn't say where that earthquake hit, but it's probably northern Arizona here. The Rocky Mountains here, guys. The Rocky Mountains here. There's Flagstaff. They do get earthquakes here. Grand Canyon National Park gets earthquakes there as well. All throughout this region, we can have earthquakes, literally all day long. All day long. Now, since we're showing Tucson, Arizona here, yes, we talked about Nancy Guthrie. She's missing 12 days after she was kidnapped. Last night, the police got a lead that someone had found a natural black glove out here in the Arizona desert. Now they have found 2 gloves out here within 5 miles of Tucson. So authorities are also looking out here on the highways to see if anything else got dumped out of a car. They've come back over here to Annie Guthrie's house, Nancy Guthrie's daughter. The authorities, both Pima County Sheriff and the FBI, have seized the houses right now. They're taking over the houses, scouring the houses for more evidence. Okay? Now, I think the Pima County Sheriff pulled out of the houses too early. When they first got a search warrant for those houses, yes, they spent some hours there, quite a few hours. Then they released the houses. They left the houses. They've now come back about 4 times. In my opinion, they should never have left those houses alone. They should never have left those houses alone. Until they've scoured those houses up and down, backwards and forwards, They should never left those houses at all. Now, I have another beef. Both the sheriff and the FBI have not worn booties into the house. Coverings over the shoes are booties. They should not have traipsed through that home without booties on. I believe they may have destroyed evidence. Okay? I'm a cop. I'm an investigator. I'm a certified homicide investigator. They may have destroyed evidence here. They're out in back of the homes over there, not just in back of Annie's and Nancy Guthrie's home, but all through the back country out there. The homes outside of Tucson where Nancy Guthrie and Annie Guthrie live, they are estate type homes. They sit on acreage. Scrub brush in the Arizona desert. Who knows what they're going to find? Now, something you may or may not know, they also have at least 3 people that are of interest. They have 3 people of interest now. More than 18,000 tips have come in on the tip line. More than 18,000 tips have come in on the tip line since this past weekend. Folks, if anyone has information about Nancy Guthrie, please contact 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-225-5324, or the Pima County Sheriff's non-emergency number. Pima County Sheriff's non-emergency number, 520-351-4900. Please do not leave your comments. Do not leave your opinions. That has nothing to do with the investigation. But if you have pertinent information, call 1-800-225-5324, the FBI, or the Pima County Sheriff's Department non-emergency number at 520-351-4900. One of our dear friends, Heidi Pedrich, in the chat saying, could they have been done deliberately? Yes. Yes, it could have been. It could have been. As I stated in my program last night, I told you that Nancy Guthrie had worked for a company that was going through money paid to the state of Arizona from federal funds for Medicaid and Medicare people. As we have found out over in Minnesota and California, Michigan, all over the country, the money was misused. Nancy Guthrie had spreadsheets. She had spreadsheets. She'd come to the conclusion of several $1 million had been mishandled. Several $1 million may have been mishandled, up to $200 million. What happened when Nancy Guthrie disappeared? The hard drive. The hard drive also disappeared. She kept it in a separate drawer, but now it's also gone missing. Okay. Nancy Guthrie had found suspicious activity that may have led to her being kidnapped. Now, someone asked me, in my opinion, earlier today, whether I believe Nancy Guthrie may still be alive. I hope and pray she is. She's on a pacemaker, or should I say she was on a pacemaker. When she was taken away from her home, her cell phone was left behind in her home. When she became separated from her cell phone, the cell phone had become separated from her. As a result, it was no longer keeping track of her pacemaker. She also was on medication. She probably has not had that medication since 12 days ago. So her very health could be in danger. I'm just saying that. I'm putting that out to you because all of you might have information. You need to know what happened to her. Kenzo is here in the chat saying some bigwig with a lot of money should have stepped up and gave him the money. They would have figured out who they were. Kenzo, the FBI took about $300 and put it in the Bitcoin wallet to make sure it was open. The Bitcoin wallet is open. I believe the FBI knows who owns a wallet. I don't know who the subjects are that are men of interest, but the Bitcoin wallet was open, except for the $300 from the FBI. I do not think the family has spent any money, but the sheriff has opened the investigation. There have been at least 3 different ransom notes. 3 different ransom notes. The last one was as of yesterday, asking for about $56,000 in Bitcoin, which is basically $50,000 in money that both the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Office has offered for a reward. Okay? Now, I believe at least 2 of those ransom notes are fake. I think 2 of those ransom notes are fake. We all ought to be praying for Nancy Guthrie, an 85-year-old woman, frail, sick, with a heart condition, separated from medication. As I said on Monday night, the Department of Game and Fish in Arizona found a body out on a trail in the outback part of Arizona. As of yesterday, they still have not come up with an identity of the person that was found on the trail. That may also give them more leads. I don't know. But I hope and pray that they find her. I hope and pray that they find her alive. But as more time goes by without finding her, I think the chances of finding her alive are very slim at this point in time. God bless Nancy and God bless her family. We are praying for all of them. Unfortunately, I know way too much. I'm not even going to talk about everything I know. But I am telling you what I do know. It's not good. It's not good. Over here in Nevada, a new earthquake. This is south of Las Vegas in a town called Nelson, Nevada. This is a 2.3 minor earthquake. Going north. This is Kingston, Nevada. North central Nevada. a 2.1 earthquake here. Back over here towards San Francisco. Let's look at this. 100 miles north of San Francisco is the geysers, a geothermal area that's linked to the lake north of there. It's called the Clear Lake Volcano. There are some 56 earthquakes here in the Sonoma County area. The geysers facility here is in the Sonoma County, California area. 56 earthquakes here today. Yesterday there were 22, now there are 56 here. 3 days ago there were 100 earthquakes here, which is very odd. Normally it doesn't get anywhere near 50. But there are 52 earthquakes here in the geysers facility here. All these earthquakes here, all the seismic energies here is linked to the upper magma chambers of the Clear Lake volcano. They pull steam from the Clear Lake volcano here. There are drill points all over the mountains here. All over the mountains here. They pull steam from the volcanoes. All the roadways throughout this area are plastered with the side of the roadway with PVC pipe, carrying the steam from the drill points back to the facility, back to turbine facilities, where the steam is cleaned and processed to power turbines here to generate electricity here in the geysers facility. That's what's being done here. Each one of these earthquakes are a result of operations where they drilled in the upper magma chambers of the volcano to obtain steam, to power turbines, to generate electricity here. Right here. Right here. This is another part of the geysers facility here. Okay? Over here. See where it says Geysers Road? Just to the northwest of the Geysers Road are the footprints, the drill points, where men drilled in the upper magma chambers of the volcano to obtain steam. Along the outside of the roadways are these PVC pipes carrying the steam back to the turbine facilities. That's what's going on here, guys. That's what's happening here. Okay? That's what's happening throughout this entire area. Now I'm zoomed in as far as I can. Right here is another footprint. Drill points, where they drilled in the earth to obtain steam to power turbines throughout the geysers area. There are a total of 81 turbines in this facility. 81 turbines all over the hillsides here in Sonoma County, California. 81 turbines. I showed you yesterday 2 different turbine facilities here. There are a total of 81 turbines in this area. I thought I saw a turbine here, right there. There's a turbine facility right there. Okay? That's what's happening here in the geysers area today. Over 100 earthquakes here. Or I'm sorry, 50 earthquakes here. 100 earthquakes here 3 days ago. South of here, down in the Bay Area. North of the Bay Area here, Sonoma, California. This is a 2.2 earthquake here. Go further south and to the east of the Bay Area. Right here. Danville, California, 1.2 tremor here. Further south, a 2.2 tremor here. San Ramon, California. Yesterday, USGS didn't show any earthquakes here in San Ramon. We have a minor earthquake here right now. Over here we have a cache of earthquakes here. Sonoma, California. This is a 2.6 earthquake here. This is a 1.9 2.0 tremor. This is a 2.0 tremor. This is 1.5 tremor. Guys, this whole area is moving. These earthquakes here are right between the Calaveras Fault and the Hayward Fault to the west. Calaveras Fault off to the east, Hayward Fault off to the west. Guys, I believe we're going to have a large earthquake here. We continue to see earthquake swarms here. That tells me there's a large earthquake incoming. Okay? There may be a large earthquake incoming. I don't know when, but it's going to come. We have not had a major earthquake here since 1989. October 1989. We're more than overdue. Okay? I'm telling everybody to stand by. Going over here to the southern Cascadia region. The southern Cascadia region. On the Gorda Escarpment here. This is a 3.2 earthquake here. A 3.2 small earthquake. Further to the east on the Gorda Escarpment. This is a 2.4, and this is a 2.5. Further to the east here on the San Andreas Fault. Yes, folks, for those of you that are new to this channel, the San Andreas Fault starts here. Then it goes through all of California and ends up going into Mexico. Okay? This is a 3.0 small earthquake here on the San Andreas Fault in the northern Cascadia subduction zone. The southern Cascadia subduction zone. If I said northern, I'm sorry. The southern part of the Cascadia subduction zone. Notice, they are not showing any earthquakes in Oregon at all. Not showing a thing. There are earthquakes here in Oregon. There are earthquakes all over Washington as well. Even though they don't show a lot of earthquakes at all, there are earthquakes all over Washington. Okay? Down here in southwestern Washington, they say this is a 0.6 microquake. 29 kilometers north-northwest of Amboy, Washington. While they might say that is true, this earthquake is in the foothills of Mount St. Helens. This earthquake is in the western foothills of Mount St. Helens. They are not showing any earthquakes here at all here at Mount St. Helens. There are earthquakes here. I'm about to show you earthquakes here at Mount St. Helens. To the north, they're not showing any earthquakes at all here at Mount Rainier. There are earthquakes here at Mount Rainier. Okay? Just because they lie and don't say there's nothing here, there are. Up here to the north, northeast of Seattle. This is 1.0 tremor here near Kavanaugh, Washington. 1.0 tremor here near Kavanaugh, Washington. Further out here to the east, southeast, Desert Air, Washington. Desert Air, Washington. Now, guys, we don't see too many earthquakes here in Desert Air. I'm telling you right now, this is a volcanic area. This is a volcanic area. Just barely south of the Columbia River. On either side of the Columbia River, we see lava, basaltic lava on the sides of the river, rock all over the place. This area was once covered by lava, lots and lots of lava. I've been told that there is a volcano over here in Desert Air because of glaciation, glacier action, and weathering. The cone and or the crater are no longer here. All that you see here are dirt and a lot of volcanic rock. Okay? Over the years, that's what's happened. But this area is a volcanic area. Okay? So now I've kind of shown you what's going on. Up to the north, we told you about this earthquake in Kavanaugh. Guess what? We also have another volcano up here called Glacier Peak. Glacier Peak is active, but they're still not showing the activity here at Glacier Peak as well. They're hiding activity. Up here at Mount Baker, just south of the Canadian border. Seismic activity happening here. Unreal. Unreal, guys. Let me show you what's happening here in Washington and Oregon in the way of volcanic activity. Okay? Let's take down the USGS map here. Take down the map. Let's take down the depth of magnitude convergence chart because we already got through using it. Let's go up here and talk about the volcanoes. Okay? Talk about these volcanoes. The first volcano I want to talk about is Mount Baker. Mount Baker, just south of the Canadian border. Is over near Whatsup County, Washington. Whatsup County, Washington. What you need to know about this. This volcano is active, very active. You only see one earthquake here from last night. The seismic activity on this particular seismograph started at 7 p.m. last night, 1900 hours. You see 19 over on the red line there, 19, that's actually 1915. Red line is 1915. The black line is 1900. This earthquake is at 9:15 on the 9:15 line. On this particular area right here, this is about 7:23 p.m. last night. 7:23 p.m. last night. This is a 5.6, 5.7 earthquake. 7:15 p.m. last night. Now, while we have that, all the rest of this diagram just shows tremors. Tremors on each individual horizontal line here. You sometimes see thicker and thinner lines. That is due to because of the diagram is the way it's laid out. We're seeing magma pulse signals. Magma pulse signals. What happens here? The thicker the lines, the more magma pouring into the volcano. The thinner lines, less magma pouring into the volcano. Down here this morning, on this blue line, this is at 11:40 this morning. You see a blob there, a blue blob. More magma coming into the volcano here. Unfortunately, they're not showing any earthquakes here. That's very unfortunate because there are earthquakes here. They are just failing to identify the earthquakes. Again, it is my opinion. It's my opinion that they do not want to show what's going on here. They absolutely do not want to show what's going on here. And as a result, they're not showing anything, which is very sad. Very sad. Because Mount Baker is an active volcano. And it's my belief they should be showing what's going on. But sometimes they hide the information. They very much hide the information. Now, I want to go over to another seismogram here at Mount Baker. On the north side of Mount Baker is a ski resort called Schuchsen. Schuchsen. At Schuchsen Ski Resort, we have another seismograph that gives us added insight into what's going on here at Mount Baker. Let's bring that seismograph up right now. I want to show you what's going on. This is Schuchsen. Baker Schuchsen. Let's scroll back up here. Last night, all this activity. Yes, we do have tremors here. We're also showing 2.7, 2.8 earthquakes here. 2.7, 2.8 earthquakes. You see blobs of lava here, or magma here. See blobs of magma here on the seismograph. This is what I'm talking about. When large amounts of magma coming into the volcano here, what happens? Large amount of magma, hot magma coming into the volcano chamber, fractures the rock inside the volcano chamber, causing earth movement, i.e. earthquakes, earth movement. That's what you see here. There is another seismogram I want to show you here. This is a Schuchsen seismogram, the HHN channel. Now we're going to show you magma coming into the volcano here. Look at these wavy lines. These wavy lines are called VLF waves. VLF waves caused by magma coming into the magma chamber here. When you see a little bit of magma coming in, the waves are very thin. Where you see a disturbance of magma here, disturbance of waves, a lot of magma coming into the magma chamber here. That's why you see some earthquakes on the other side ground. Lots and lots of magma coming into the magma chamber. But what happens the rest of the day? As of 1:32 a.m. this morning, the magma coming into the magma chamber here at Mount Baker slowed down. Then just after 4 a.m. it sped back up. Look at this, guys. After 4 a.m. it sped back up. Literally all the rest of the day. All of the rest of the day today. My question is this. Why are they not showing it on the rest of the seismogram here? They are not showing any of this at all. Why is it not showing here? Because the agency, in this case, the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network, I believe being told by USGS not to show the activity. Yeah, that's what I believe is happening here. In the past years, the agencies have been more truthful. They've shown activity here. They've not erased it. Yes, they have erased some, but they haven't erased as much as they do now. That's what we're showing here, guys. They erase data. They don't want anybody to know what's going on. Notice how thin these lines are? Look at that. Last night they're thicker. Early this morning, all the way into about noon today, very thin. They don't want to admit what's going on here. Mount Baker is very active volcano. Let's go to Glacier Peak. Glacier Peak is right here. Here you see these vertical lines here. Vertical lines without a dot in them. The vertical lines without a dot are steam signals. These vertical lines without a dot in the middle of them are steam signals. Vertical lines with dots in the middle of them, those are earthquakes. What are they not showing us here? You're seeing longer vertical lines, those are steam signals. You are seeing some tremors here as well. Look at here. Here at Glacier Peak, we're seeing some magma here as well. Look at that. A magma blob, a couple of them. And as a result of all of that magma, we have some vertical lines, don't we? Tremors. Tremors caused by the magma entering the volcanic chamber under pressure, fracturing the rock in the volcano, causing earth movement, earthquakes. That's what we're seeing here at Glacier Peak. Okay. Let's go down to Mount Rainier. Good old Mount Rainier. The problem with Mount Rainier is they're still trying to hide activity. They are doing their darndest to hide the activity. With this. This seismogram is showing you Camp Sherman. Harmonic tremors. All of this is harmonic tremors for the most part. All this is harmonic tremors here. Look down here, guys. It's not just harmonic tremors, though. This is consistent minor earthquake activity. Consistent, second to second, minute to minute, hour to hour. Harmonic tremors here. The ground is vibrating here at Mount Rainier. That's what's going on here at Camp Muir. Let me show you another one here. Okay. Also at Camp Muir. This is a different channel. This is the HHZ channel. Now we are actually seeing some tremors and minor earthquakes. Tremors and minor earthquakes here at Mount Rainier. This is last night. This is last night at just about 11:15 last night. 2.2, 2.4 earthquakes here. 2.2, 2.4 earthquakes. Caused by magma coming into the magma chamber of this volcano. That's last night. Then we turn over after midnight. Today. Look at this on the blue line here. On this blue line, we're seeing 10:43, 10:44 this morning. Look at that. 2.0 earthquake here. 2.0 earthquake. Then all the rest of the day here, we see tremors here. Tremors. Guys, this seismogram is not totally correct either. In the past, we've seen a lot of activity here. I believe the USGS and the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network are scrubbing the activity. They're scrubbing the activity off the seismogram so they can say nothing's going on. Yeah. That's what they're actually doing. Now, I'm going to prove it in just a second. Okay. Let's go over Emerald Ridge. Emerald Ridge is another seismogram, or seismograph. The machine is over on the northwest side of Mount Rainier. Northwest side of Mount Rainier. Emerald Ridge. Actually, I'm sorry, this is Emerald. This is on the west side of Mount Rainier. This is St. Andrews Rock. St. Andrews Rock. For the most part, we have harmonic tremors again. Harmonic tremors caused by lava coming into the volcano, vibrating the volcano. Vibrating the volcano. Look at that. Literally all day long. Let's go back to Camp Sherman for a minute. Camp Sherman, harmonic tremors. What did we see here at Camp Sherman just a few weeks ago? We've seen lots and lots of earthquakes. Lots and lots of earthquakes. We have never seen harmonic tremors at Camp Sherman. What I think they've done, they scrubbed the earthquakes off of Camp Sherman seismogram and put harmonic tremors here. That's what I believe happened. Because usually here at Camp Sherman we see earthquakes. Lots and lots of earthquakes. And tremors as well. Okay? Let's go over here at Emerald Ridge again. Right there. Look what's going on here. This Emerald Ridge seismogram is showing the BHN channel, showing the magma coming into the magma chamber here at Mount Rainier. Look at this. Look at this activity. Again, these wavy lines are magma coming into the magma chamber here. These are VLF waves, very low frequency waves. The busier the wave, the more magma coming into the magma chamber. Okay? When that happens, we see more earthquakes, more activity. They're not showing it very well, are they? They're not showing it at all. They want us to believe that Mount Rainier is not doing anything. They are so wrong. Well, they say that Mount Rainier is having harmonic tremors. Some point that might be somewhat true, but we've seen a lot of earthquakes here. Why would it all of a sudden turn into harmonic tremors? Doesn't add up. It doesn't add up at all. Again, they're not telling us the truth about what's happening here at Mount Rainier. They're not doing it. Let's go over to Mount St. Helens to the south. I showed you an earthquake just west of Mount St. Helens. Let's see what's really going on here. Okay? What I'm going to show you is a sidegram from September lobe. Main sidegram from September lobe. The sidegraph here at September lobe sits on top of the volcano. Sits on the caldera top of the volcano. The volcanic rock. Okay? Here at September lobe, we are seeing earthquakes and tremors. Not many of them. All we are seeing here are tremors. There's not one earthquake here last night. However, this afternoon, we do see a 2.6, 2.7 earthquake here this afternoon. Okay? That's what's really going on here, guys. That's what we're seeing here. They can play games. They can say whatever they want. It doesn't mean it's necessarily true. They've been playing games for a very long time. They've been playing games for a very long time. For them to do this is abhorrent. This is abhorrent. Now, if I had played these games when I was a cop, they would lock me up and throw away the key. Altering documents, altering federal documents. These are considered to be federal. These are considered to be federal parks. These are federal documents. Altering the documents is a crime. It's a crime, guys. So them altering these sidegrams are a crime. In my opinion, they are felonies. I would have been charged with felony if I had submitted a false police report of any kind. Even altering a sentence or saying something that wasn't true is a felony. So here you see, and we've seen this before, this is not the first time. We've seen crimes being committed here. Crimes being committed by the agency. They continue to get away with it. We're seeing here after 4:45 this afternoon is a 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. Okay? That's what really happened here this afternoon. Prior to that, we have tremors. There we have a earthquake. Minor earthquake. Any questions about Mount St. Helens? That's September lobe. Let me show you September lobe BLF wave channel. Okay? September lobe BLF wave channel is called BDF CC01. Right here. Linda Covington just gave us a $20 super chat. Linda, thank you so much for that. God bless you for that. Linda, I'm giving you a EMA sticker on your super chat. I'm also giving you a thumbs up for that. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Liz telling us this is all unpaid. This is all for the unpaid mods. No volunteers recognition for their great jobs well done. I'm going to try to take this and some of the other money this next month and try to get you mods something else. I'll mail it to you. Linda comes in as coming to that to you all. I'm going to try to do something for each one of you guys. We love our mods here. We absolutely adore our mods here. They do one heck of a bang-up job here. I love them to pieces. I could not do this job without them. I tried at the beginning when I started doing this in 2019. It was very hard. I started getting mods 2019. Then I started getting less hassles, started getting less irritated because people lied. I even had USGS breathing down my back, lying to the public. We're seeing here on the BDF channel, the HHN channel. Okay, this is showing lava coming in or magma coming into the magma chamber. VLF waves are caused by magma coming into the magma chamber here. These light waves show less magma coming in. Less magma coming in. However, as we scroll through this diagram, the activity picks up, doesn't it? It does, it picks up. That's why we see an earthquake here today. Magma coming into the magma chamber under pressure, causing these VLF waves, causing earthquakes. That's plain and simple. Okay? That's Mount St. Helens. Now, let's go south to Mount Hood. Mount Hood. This time we're over in Oregon, Northern Oregon at Mount Hood. First off, I want to go to Hood Meadows. Hood Meadows. Look at this. Let's scroll up to the top of this segment here. Here at Hood Meadows, we see earthquakes here. We see some tremors. Then we see a 2.0 earthquake here. A magma blob. Magma coming into the magma chamber, shown up here on the seismogram. And we see an earthquake here. Magma fracturing the rock inside the magma chamber, causing earthquake activity. That's what we're actually seeing. Okay? But throughout this same seismogram, we'll hardly see any activity but tremors. The only thing we see are tremors here. Okay? Mount Hood, Hood Meadows. Now, let's go over here to Timberline. Timberline, guys. Heidi Pickett just gave us another $10 super chat. Thank you, Heidi, for that. God bless you both. You and Linda. We appreciate you so much. Look what happens there at Timberline. The Timberline seismograph exists at Government Camp on the southern side of the volcano. The southern lower side of the volcano Government Camp. Here we're seeing these very long duration tremors, minutes long in some cases, 2 to 3, 4 minutes. We also see tremors here, minor tremors, 1.5, 1.6 tremors here, 1.0, 1.1, 1.2 tremors here. Then we see some minor earthquake activity early this morning. 2:30, 2:40 this morning. minor earthquake activity. 2.3, 2.4, 2.5 earthquakes here. Okay. Then we push through to the end of the day. Then we start seeing harmonic tremors here at Timberline. Ground vibration at the volcano. At the very bottom, we start seeing some minor earthquakes as well, 2.0 earthquakes as well. Okay. Mount Hood is moving. It's moving a great deal. Now, I think I have something I want to show you here. No, I don't. No, I don't. The other seismographs that are available here are not available to us. They've locked the other seismographs at Mount Hood down. Unreal. I tried to go up to and pull up information about Moon Mountain, or what they called Bachelor Volcano. They've locked up Bachelor Volcano, so we can't get into it. So I'm going over to Newberry Volcano today. Cinder Hill, Newberry Volcano. They call it Sichel. Sichel. Look what we're seeing here, guys. Look what we're seeing here. This is the HHN channel. The HHN channel here at Newberry Volcano. At the top, always see our tremors here. Always see our tremors. Then the magma gets to moving here. Lots more magma coming into Mount Newberry today. Look at that. It's really busy. We should be seeing some earthquake activity on the other seismographs. We should. Should is a byword here. Okay? We should be seeing more earthquake activity here at Newberry Volcano. Interesting enough. This is the next one here. This Newberry crater. Different seismogram completely. Newberry crater here. NCO. The other one was Sichel, CIHL. Newberry crater, NCO here. Here, yes, we are seeing tremors here. We're seeing tremors here. Then we start seeing harmonic tremors as well. Interesting, huh? It really is. One more here at Newberry Volcano. No, I'm sorry, Matt. I was thinking I had one more. I don't. That was Newberry Volcano. I'm going to go south of Citrus Volcano now. Citrus Volcanoes. Citrus is a complex of 3 volcanoes. 3 volcanoes that are monitored by one seismograph, which is virtually impossible. Virtually impossible. Okay? But that's what we're seeing here. Citrus North, Citrus Central, and Citrus South. Up at the top here last night, all we are seeing here are tremors. Tremor blips on the seismograph caused by magma coming into the magma chamber here. Look at this. Now, guys, what we are seeing here this morning, early this morning, on the red line, that should be 9:15 this morning. Notice here where this red line begins. False information. False information. Magma just doesn't begin with a flat line here. What they've tried to do is tell us this is magma here. Lots and lots of magma. The thicker the lines, the more magma coming in. Wrong in this case. This is abstract. That's false information here after 9:30 this morning. However, look what else is happening here today. Look what else is happening here. Yes, we're seeing tremors here at Citrus Volcanoes. After 12 noon here, after 12 noon on this black line, we're seeing small rectangles. That is also abstract. That doesn't mean anything. These horizontal rectangles don't mean anything. They're false information. But we are seeing earthquakes here, tremors. Newberry volcano is moving. It's moving, guys. Some cases it's vibrating. Some cases it vibrates. But we are seeing earthquakes here at Citrus Volcanoes. 3 different volcanoes, all of them active. All of them active. Let's go over to Clear Lake to the south. South Central Oregon. South Central Oregon. There is only one seismograph here at Clear Lake that's operational. They shut down Clear Lake, Fleetwood Cove to the northeast. They shut down about last September, October. There's also another one on the northwest side of the volcano, southeast side of the volcano, Clear Lake volcano. That was called Mount Scott. They shut that one down as well. There was another at the center point of the summit of the volcano called Wizard Volcano. Wizard Volcano was at the summit of the volcano. They've now shut it down as well. The only thing left showing of any value is the Clear Lake Fleetwood bunkhouse. Crater Lake bunkhouse. That's all we have left. Okay. Here at Crater Lake, look what we're showing you here. This is the BHN channel here at Clear Lake. Yes, they're showing us some activity here. They're showing us some tremor activity here. But they're also showing us these curved tiny lines. These curved lines are magma coming into Crater Lake volcano. Magma coming into Crater Lake volcano, very active. Look at that. This afternoon, the magma coming into Clear Lake volcano, not Clear Lake, I'm sorry, Crater Lake volcano. Magma coming into Crater Lake volcano is very busy here. Unreal. Unreal. Now, it's sad to see what USGS and the PNSN has done because they are out and out lying to the public. They don't want anybody to know what's going on. That's very sad. That's a very sad state of affairs. I don't agree with it. I think it's cockeyed. I think it's wrong. I think it's a violation of law. Anytime they alter the documents, is a violation of law. I believe that's what they've been doing here. Now, before I leave you today, I'm going to share a scripture with you. But while I do that, actually before I do that, before I share a scripture with you, I'm asking all of you to pray for our channel. I found out today from YouTube that they're doing their best to discontinue this channel. We still have hundreds of people watching this channel. but they're trying to discontinue it, trying to take it down. Guys, if you want to help support this channel, please give us monetary donations to our PayPal locations scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Our Venmo doesn't work, but our 2 PayPal locations do. Yes, the donations to our Super Chats helps. It does. But helping us here on the PayPal even helps more. We appreciate that so much. Also, everyone, below this channel today, below the video today, after we leave this channel, go below there. You can leave us comments on this video in the comments section. Last night, we had like 6 or 8 people left us comments. I appreciate that. I answered those comments from last night. I promise you, if you leave comments for us, I'll answer those comments. Okay? Our mailing address, 504 Bethel Road, Box 401. Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. 504 Bethel Road, Box 401. Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. You send us cards and letters. We only have had 1 card so far this year. Now, I forgot to bring it up. It's on our dining room table downstairs. Tomorrow, I promise I'll bring it up and show it to you. It's a great card from Laura and John from Oregon. Appreciate them very much. Now, in closing here, I want to leave you with a thought from Hebrews. From Hebrews, guys. This is Paul's epistle to the Hebrews. In Paul's epistle to the Hebrews, he says, but in a certain place testified, what is man, that thou art mindful of him? Or the Son of Man, that thou visitest him? Thou madest him a little lower than the angels. Thou crownest him with glory and honor, and didst set him over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all things in subjection under his feet. For in that he put all in subjection under him, he left nothing that is not put under him. But now we see not yet all things put under him. Brothers and sisters, it's up to each one of us to follow our Savior. It's up to each one of us to follow our Savior and follow him in good time. We're in the time of tribulation. We're in the time of tribulation. It's my opinion that Christ is on his way back home to the earth. We need to honor that. Let's find Jesus Christ in our lives. Let's help our children and grandchildren, our brothers and sisters, try to find Jesus Christ in their lives. Let's help them develop a testimony of Jesus Christ. This is a Christian country. We follow Jesus Christ. We love and honor our Savior, Jesus Christ. We worship Jesus Christ. He and our Heavenly Father put all things under his feet. There's a hymn that was written many hundreds of years ago about that. Back when I was in concert choir in high school and college, we sung that hymn. It's a great hymn. That's one of the reasons I remembered to show it to you or read that to you tonight. Remember, God wants us to return to him through his Son, Jesus Christ. Let's remember to pray. Let's remember to learn more about the Savior through the Scriptures. The Scriptures is giving everything to us. Let's learn to read the scriptures. Let's learn to praise and honor Jesus Christ. For it is Jesus Christ that our salvation depends. All things are eternal with Jesus Christ. We are going to one day live with Jesus Christ eternally. May God bless you this day and always. I know I say that a lot, but I mean it with the fullness of my heart. I love each one of you. Linda comes in and says she needs stamps. Years ago, I bought a roll of stamps. Guess what? I still have a roll of stamps here. Linda, maybe I'll send you a roll of stamps. I'll buy a roll of stamps next time I go to the post office. Brothers and sisters, we love you. Tonight we talked about Cascadia. We're going to talk more fully about Cascadia next week. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about earthquakes. We're going to talk about preparedness. Friday is our Preparedness Friday. Please, if you have any questions, write them down and share those questions with us tomorrow night. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have tomorrow night. Until then, may God bless you. May God be with you, help you and lift you up. I ask for that prayer even in the very name of Jesus Christ himself. Amen. May God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Good night, everyone. I love you very much. See you tomorrow. If anything else happens tonight or in the morning, we'll be back on there to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Till then, we'll see you tomorrow night. God bless you. God be with you. We'll see you soon. Good night.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better, bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you.
you.
Thanks, guys. We love you.